You know, it's been rare in the last decade. You guys have been down by double digits in the fourth quarter, late in the game. Yet this team found a way to win it. What was the difference in that last stretch for you guys?
Well, I think that's probably indicative of the two teams that I'm coaching right now. I'm coaching the team that's capable of getting down a lot and giving up layups, second shots. You know, we are that team. We put ourselves in that situation because we played against a really good team, and we're missing a lot of things. This team's missing a lot of things, and we refuse to acknowledge it sometimes on our team, and it catches up to you like it did today. So that's one thing. And then there's the other team that I coach, the team that played in the fourth quarter that when it was time to win the game, they made all the plays they needed to make to win the game. So things that happen, like that fourth quarter, remind our team how good we can be. You know, was it 26-9 in the fourth quarter? Mm-hmm. Something like that. And they're a really good team. Like, they're a really good team. So, we can be that good. So it was good for us to learn that today. It was really good. And we got some great minutes, you know, from Z, from Megan Walker, you know. A lot of positives came out of this game, but it's December, early December, and an awful lot of negatives came out of this game as well.
Right here, bro.
How happy were you with the likes of Z and Megan making those hustle plays in the fourth quarter with Gabby and Lou out?
Yeah, you know, we're used to having post players that are really active, that cover a lot of ground, take up a lot of space, are really protecting the basket. You know, that's kind of what we've been used to here for a long time. And it's taking Azure a while to learn to become that kind of defensive player. And we're trying to offensively get her to go to more places to get her shots. And that's not easy when you've played a different way a lot of years. So it's it's taken her a while, but she's gotten better and better every game since the first game. And Megan has a lot of talent. She has a lot of ability. She can do a lot of things, and rebounding is one of them. And she proved that today. And she proved that, you know, she can make plays in this kind of a game, in this kind of an environment. So hopefully the next couple of days leading up to DePaul, she'll build on that. Keep our fingers crossed.
Geno, what's the situation with Gabby, and how concerned are you about Katie Lou taking that foot injury?
The Gabby thing has been kind of off and on, and it's, you know, it's something she's trying to deal with. I wish I had a definitive answer for you on that. Some of the migraine issues that she's had and what causes them, where they come from, how to deal with them. We're struggling with that right now. And it affects the way she plays, obviously, as it would anyone else. Lou didn't hurt Lou's problem wasn't what kept her out for 3 or 4 games. It was her ankle instead of her foot. What does that mean? I don't know. We'll know more tomorrow. You know, so Lou, you were she was pretty animated in the game today. She got knocked around a couple times. The one underneath the basket in front of our bench, she got whacked pretty good. And she's a fighter. She doesn't look like it, but she's a fighter. She's a really tough kid. And right now, it's really pissing her off that she can't play. It's starting to get to her a little bit. It's getting a little bit aggravated because she wants to play so bad. So hopefully it'll be just minor.
You know, we've talked so much about Tina Nurse over the years, and when she went to the bench in the second quarter, when they went on their run, and then comes fourth quarter, it's time to win games. She makes a three, and then she gets inside for a couple baskets. You know, what can you say about her from, you know, about tonight's performance from her, you know, also defending Enrique that, you know, you really haven't said for the last 3.5 years?
Yeah. You know, Kia, it's like every time she shoots a three now, everyone expects it to go in. So I'm kind of not surprised that she made a big one. And I'm not surprised that she was out of the game when they went on their run. She's a really, really, really good defender, and she works so hard. You know, she plays harder than anybody on our team. She competes harder than anybody on our team. You know, she has this, you know, she just has this knack for making, you know, making a big play or making a play when it needs to be made. And I love her intensity level, and it's been like that since the first day she walked into the gym. And she's probably having the best year she's ever had since she's been here. And she's going to get better as the season goes along.
You know, what were your thoughts right before that stretch in the fourth quarter? Did you think that the cavalry was going to show up today, or were you kind of resigned to the fact that they? What were you thinking? Yeah,
well, I knew there wasn't anybody on the bench that was going to save us, so it was going to have to be those players that were on the floor, and I thought once we got it, you know, there was one timeout where we were down 8, I think it was, and, you know, we just let them know that in 2 possessions, you know, this could be a 2-point game. And, you know, the 8 points is nothing. And then when we went on that run, and I thought when we took the lead, I think there was a change in the temperature in the game. It just, you could see it. I know you know, that comeback, we looked different, we acted different, and I think so today when we took the lead.
Geno, you've been talking about Megan and Ajay and their defensive shortcomings, but you played in the last however many minutes. I think they were 6th or the last 29 from the field. What did you see, and did that surprise you that you were able to cover up as much defensively late in the game as you did?
Well, sometimes, you know, people miss because you play great defense on them. Sometimes they just miss because they miss. And I think a lot of times in the second half, they just missed. It didn't have anything to do with where we were. I mean, they got some shots you couldn't miss. I mean, we give up more layups today than we have in the last month probably against teams. But, you know, Megan's a freshman, and what she does well is she rebounds. She really doesn't know how to guard anybody, but she knows how to rebound the ball. So she played 17 minutes, got 6 rebounds, and they were all pretty big on the defensive end. And Z, you know, of all the stuff that we're talking about, you know, they come out in the second half, and she gets beat on the layup, the same stuff that we just went over how to fix it at halftime. It's like, I don't know how people do this job anymore. I gotta be honest with you. I don't know how people do it. I mean, I know why I do it, but go ahead.
As the team started to come back there in the fourth quarter, the fans' energy seemed like
Yeah.
as loud as it's ever been, at least in a long time.
Yeah.
How do you feel that the team fed off the fans' energy? And
Yeah, we talked about that going into the game, that, you know, that we had 15,000 plus going to be at the game today, and that we wanted the crowd to be a factor in the game. But we didn't give them a chance to be until the fourth quarter. And once we did give them an opportunity, they did take over. I think and I had said that. I said, listen, let's see if we can get the crowd involved, and let's see how, you know, Notre Dame handles the crowd. Because the crowd and us, that's two things you got to handle. But we never put them in that situation. And in the fourth quarter, yeah, our crowd responded the way they always do when it's a big game and a big moment. You know, I was pretty loud today. You're right. There was one time when I don't think they could hear, because I know they were trying to call something and they couldn't hear it. It was like the old days. It was like back in the old days. Felt good today.
Geno, could you talk a little bit more about Azare on offense? I know it's not as simple as you stand outside, you go inside, you try to find spots in the floor and you know, obviously you found a spot for it in the fourth quarter there that was a big difference in the game. But as it goes along from game to game, what do you have to do for her, and what does she have to do for herself as far as like finding the right spots?
Well, our offense is based on movement. You know, we try to move the ball, we try to move people. Z's not used to moving a lot, so she likes to float, and she becomes easy to guard. So we set up certain things where she has to, and that's what happened in the fourth quarter. We ran the same thing over and over again, and we were going to isolate her and let her and Fisa play together and see what happens, which meant that they're going to have to figure out how to guard Z, either man-to-man or double team her, and that was going to lead to something. But they didn't have anybody that could handle her on defense. Like, she can't guard any of them, but they can't guard her either. So we figured, let's try to take advantage of that. And she's a really, really good three-point shooter, and I think she's won for her career here in Connecticut. I can't believe I gave her that ball today. 1,000 points. You know, up until that, she had like 999 of them at Duke. And she is a hell of a shooter, and she just can't get anything to go right now, so she's a little gun shy. But as this thing moves along and she starts knocking those threes down, she's going to be difficult to guard. But whether or not that happens is going to depend on her. Like Z's makeup doesn't match her talent. Like, her talent's really big, but her makeup is not that big. She doesn't really demand that much from herself yet. She doesn't push herself and stretch that envelope. And she's been comfortable, and we're trying to make her uncomfortable. You're going to have to do things you haven't done. Why? It's going to make you a better player. You saw how many things she did. She's going to post you up, make a little jump shot, drive it, you know, offensive rebound, a couple post movement, like all kinds of good stuff. So it's going to take a little bit. It's going to take a little bit, but and you know, for everything you add, something's got to give. You know, you get Z floating around, and then you make her go in the lane. Now, Fisa's out there floating around. So we got to strike a happy balance here between those two, and that's why if both of them start knocking in shots, that helps the other one. Right now, that's what, you know, this is, I know the coaches that I know in the country, they're loving this, because even though we have a lot of good players, this is one of those years where every kid that we have on our team can do one thing. So we got to constantly find out, like, how to put them in that spot where they can do that one thing, where we're used to having players that can do a whole bunch of things. And now we got to figure out, where do we put this guy to make him successful? Yeah, So everybody out there, salt today, I'm earning my money. I mean, it ain't that hard, but still.
Katie, and then one or two more maybe?
Just a quick clarifying question on Gabby's status, Coach. You said that she was being held out because of migraines. It wasn't like she was purposely benched at work?
Benched? Well, when you're playing lousy, you're not going to play. If there's a reason why you're playing lousy, then okay, we know what the reason is, but you're still playing lousy. Does that mean that if she was playing great, I would have left her in there? Of course, because that means she was able to handle what was happening to her. But obviously she couldn't. So, for our sake and hers, it's best that you don't play. I mean, she said I could probably give it a go, but the look said no. So, I made an executive decision.